The movie opens in the immediate aftermath of pure, unadulterated trauma. A high school couple sits together, trembling and deeply disturbed, desperately trying to comfort one another after experiencing something truly horrific. The air is thick with tension and paralyzing fear. Suddenly, the deafening crack of a gunshot rings out, violently cutting through the silence. Before we can process the tragedy, the screen cuts to black and the timeline rewinds. We are taken back exactly 12 hours before this bloodbath began. It is April 15th, 1998, just one day before the highly anticipated Terrastack Music Festival. A group of eager high school students, buzzing with the thrill of their recent graduation, are rounding up their crew to hit the road. We are introduced to the core friend group, Adam, Simon, Nani, and Drew. We're joined by Logan and Erica. For this specific group of friends, the music festival isn't just about watching bands perform. It's about absolute reckless rebellion. They have brought a heavy stash of recreational drugs, fully intending to get high, lose their minds, and party until they drop. With their bags packed and the music blasting, the friends hit the highway. However, the festival grounds are incredibly far away. Realizing that driving the entire distance in a single day would be exhausting, they decide to make a strategic pit stop. Logan suggests they crash at a remote lake house owned by his friend, Mondo. The plan is simple. Spend the night partying at Mondo's isolated cabin, get some rest, and head to a hotel near the festival the next morning. But when the group finally arrives at the secluded, eerie lake house, things immediately feel off. Logan repeatedly calls out for Mondo, but the house is dead silent. They search the property, but the homeowner is nowhere to be found. Brushing off the strange vibe, Logan assumes Mondo just stepped out for a while. He tells the group to relax, drop their bags, and make themselves at home for the night. The teenagers gladly accept the free accommodation and split up to get comfortable. Drew and Nani, looking for some privacy, claim the upstairs bedroom. The rest of the group settles downstairs. They spend the entire afternoon lounging outside, cracking open beers, getting a head start on their drug stash, and carelessly gossiping about Mondo's sketchy reputation. As the day bleeds into evening, the carefree atmosphere is violently shattered. Upstairs, Drew wakes up from a deep nap. Stretching his legs, he glances down and notices a dark, ominous stain seeping from beneath the bed. It's a massive pool of fresh blood soaking into the bedsheets. At the exact same moment, Nani walks into the upstairs bathroom. Nani sees a dead body of Mondo. As she screams loudly, the group downstairs sprints up the stairs in an absolute panic. Inside the bathroom, they find a gruesome, horrifying sight. A dead body, brutally murdered and left bleeding on the floor. Logan pushes through the terrified teenagers and immediately identifies the cold corpse. It's Mondo. Absolute panic sets in. The walls of the remote cabin suddenly feel like a prison. Drew, trying to be the voice of reason, and insists they call the police immediately to report the murder. But Logan aggressively shuts him down. Logan expertly manipulates the situation, reminding them that their systems are currently pumped full of illegal drugs. If the cops show up and find a bunch of high teenagers standing over a dead body, they will instantly become the prime suspects. Their lives will be ruined forever. Taking complete control of the chaos, Logan violently destroys the house phone so no one can make a call. He orders the trembling group to find heavy-duty garbage bags so they can wrap up the corpse and hide it. Against his better judgment, Drew is forced to help. As they move the body, Logan's true, greedy nature emerges. While checking Mondo's pockets, Logan secretly steals Mondo's house keys and car keys, quietly slipping them into his own pocket without anyone noticing. With a corpse now hidden in the house, the group's dynamic crumbles. Trust evaporates, replaced by suffocating paranoia. In the shadows, Logan approaches Erica, showing her the stolen keys. He reveals his sinister plan. He wants to use the keys to crack open Mondo's personal safe, steal all his hidden cash, and abandon the rest of the group. Erica, equally selfish and opportunistic, agrees to the treacherous plot, but before they can execute their escape, a heavy, unexpected knock echoes from the front door. The group freezes in terror. Peeking outside, they see two complete strangers. Cautiously opening the door, they find a man named Brian and a woman named Allison. Brian is leaning heavily on Allison, suffering from a severe leg injury, and they are desperately begging for medical help. Logan and the group are thrown into an impossible dilemma. They have a murdered corpse hidden just a few feet away, but turning away a bleeding man might raise even more suspicion. Paranoia gripping his chest, Logan quietly orders Drew and Nani to stay hidden upstairs and not make a single sound. Reluctantly, the group invites the strangers inside to treat Brian's leg. Drew questions Logan's reckless decision, but Logan tells his strategy. They will patch up the stranger as fast as possible, get them back on their feet, and kick them out before they notice anything is wrong. The group forces fake smiles, formally introducing themselves to Allison and Brian while nervously bandaging the man's bloody leg. Once the bleeding stops, Logan politely tries to rush the strangers out, offering to help them to their car. But fate strikes another cruel blow. When Erica tries to start the vehicle, the engine is completely dead. The car has been mysteriously sabotaged, with no cell service, no working vehicles, and no hospitals for miles. The group is backed into a terrifying corner. They have absolutely no choice but to let the two strangers stay the night in a house hiding a murdered corpse. The tension in the living room is thick enough to cut with a knife. The teenagers gather in a corner, whispering furiously. The stranger's conveniently broken car feels far too suspicious. Who are these people? Did they kill Mondo? Logan, ever the paranoid tactician, suggests they set up a rotating night watch to make sure the strangers don't discover the body or try to kill them in their sleep. A bitter argument breaks out over who will stay awake and who gets to rest. Finally, Logan declares that he, Erica, and Drew will take the first watch. Nani is on the verge of a total nervous breakdown, unable to cope with the sheer terror of the situation. To keep her quiet, Logan hands her and Drew strong sedatives, instructing them to get some sleep first. Drew and Nani retreat to the upstairs bedroom, the heavy sedatives pulling them into a restless sleep. Downstairs, Simon and Erica step out onto the front porch, trying to ease their nerves with quiet conversation. This leaves Logan completely alone inside. Seizing his moment, he creeps into Mondo's hidden room and uses the stolen keys to unlock the safe. He pulls the heavy metal door open, his eyes wide with anticipation, but his face falls. The safe is completely empty. Frustrated and angry, Logan steps outside into the cool night air to clear his head, walking alone in the dark. As he stands in the shadows, an unseen figure emerges from the absolute blackness behind him. The silent attacker raises a heavy metal shovel high into the air and brings it down with sickening force, crushing Logan's skull. Moments later, the horrific sound of sobbing pierces the night. The group rushes out into the yard to find Erica on her knees, crying hysterically next to Logan's bludgeoned, lifeless body. The teenagers shatter into complete, unhinged panic. Logan is dead. They have no witnesses, no clues, and no idea what to do. Desperate for a scapegoat, their minds immediately jump to the only logical conclusion. Two strangers must be the killers. Drew and Simon frantically grab Logan's heavy, bleeding body and drag it into the garage to hide it. The gruesome task pushes Adam over the edge. His mind, completely scrambled by the heavy cocktail of drugs he took earlier, plunges into a violent psychosis. He finds a loaded gun and marches into the garage, breathing heavily, his eyes wild with drug-induced fury. Adam declares he is going to execute Brian and Allison to avenge Logan. Drew steps in front of the gun, desperately trying to de-escalate the situation. He begs Adam to put the weapon down, promising that they will just walk to the nearest convenience store and call the police. But Erica coldly points out that there are no phones, and the nearest store has been closed for hours. Adam raises the gun, his finger trembling on the trigger. But he is a coward at heart. The sheer weight of taking a life paralyzes him. He lowers the weapon. Witnessing this total descent into madness, Nani's mind completely breaks. She runs out of the garage, sprinting blindly into the dark woods to get as far away from this nightmare as possible. Drew immediately chases after her, tackling her to the ground and holding her tight, promising her that they will survive this. but their fragile comfort is shattered by the deafening roar of a gunshot coming from the garage. Drew and Nani sprint back to the garage to find absolute carnage. Brian is lying on the cold floor, bleeding profusely from a fatal gunshot wound. Adam stands over him, the smoking gun in his hands. Allison has been brutally tied up and restrained in the corner. Desperately trying to undo Adam's horrific mistake, the group scrambles to fix the broken car to rush Brian to a hospital. But the damage is too severe. Within minutes, Brian bleeds to death on the garage floor. Allison, utterly broken, looks at Nani. She decides to confess everything. She admits that she and Brian came here to rob Mondo's massive drug stash. But Mondo caught them and attacked them with a knife. In self-defense, Brian killed Mondo. Allison begs Nani to take her to a hospital. Nani, trying to piece the puzzle together, asks Allison a crucial question. Why did you disable our cars? Allison looks at her with genuine confusion. We didn't touch your cars. Sickening realization washes over Nani. The strangers didn't disable the vehicles. The strangers didn't step outside to kill Logan. The sabotaged cars and the shovel attack were an inside job. The killer is one of her own friends. Nani rushes to tell Drew that the strangers are innocent. They go to interrogate Brian, only to remember he is already dead. The house descends into chaotic purgatory. Erica acts deeply traumatized, faking a mental breakdown while Adam chugs beer. Entirely lost to the drugs, Nani's sharp mind begins to focus on Simon. She pulls Erica outside, whispering her theory that Simon must be the killer. Erica acts shocked, playing her role perfectly. Nani points out that Simon just stood by and let Brian die. Unknown to them, Simon is standing by an open window upstairs, silently listening to Nani accuse him of murder. Rage boils in his chest, but he walks downstairs pretending he heard nothing. Inside, Adam drunkenly mentions a boat. Drew realizes there might be a marine radio inside the boat in the garage to call for help. Simon immediately heads to the garage, followed closely by Erica. When they enter the dark garage, Allison is missing from her restraints. Suddenly, she lunges from the shadows, violently attacking Erica. Simon freezes in terror. Trying to save himself, Simon lies, telling Allison that Brian is at the hospital and the car is in preparing situation. But Allison doesn't believe him. Erica, seeing an opportunity to manipulate the chaos, points at Simon. She tells Allison that Simon was right next to Brian when he died and let it happen. The deception works. Allison's grief turns to blinding rage. She tries to kill Simon, but Drew suddenly bursts in with a gun, outnumbered. Allison throws a metal pipe at Erica and flees into the pitch-black forest. With the immediate threat gone, Drew climbs into the boat to search for the radio. Back inside the house, Nani relentlessly berates Adam for pulling the trigger. Meanwhile, in the dimly lit garage, Erica begins her final act. She whispers poisonous lies to Simon, convincing him that Drew is the real threat and that Simon needs to shoot Drew first. Manipulated, Simon slowly raises a gun at Drew's back. But Erica was never on Simon's side. As Simon prepares to kill Drew, Erica picks up a heavy, jagged metal boat propeller. With a sickening crunch, she brings it down squarely on Simon's skull, killing him instantly. Drew turns around just in time to see Simon fall. Seeing Erica standing over him, Drew foolishly believes she just saved his life. Back in the house, Noni's detective work reaches its peak. She finds the stolen keys. She remembers how close Erica and Simon were acting, and Erica's bizarre, manipulative comments. She remembers Allison swearing the strangers didn't sabotage the cars. The horrifying truth clicks into place. Erica is the puppet master. Erica is the killer. Nani rushes to tell Drew the terrifying truth. Moments later, Erica walks into Drew's bedroom. She asks where Nani is, and Drew lies, saying Nani is sick. Drew states firmly that when the police arrive, he is going to tell them the absolute truth. Erica's mask finally slips. Realizing Drew will not help her cover up the murders, she pulls out a gun and shoots Drew point blank in the head. Outside the bedroom window, Nani watches her boyfriend get murdered. A gasp of pure horror escapes her lips. Erica's head snaps toward the window. The hunt is on. Erica storms downstairs to find Nani, but runs into Adam instead. Without hesitation, she shoots Adam in the chest. Stepping over his bleeding body as she marches outside, Nani sprints through the damp, dark woods, desperately trying to escape. But Erica tackles Nani to the forest floor, raising the gun to execute her. Suddenly, a heavily wounded Adam crashes through the brush, throwing himself at Erica to save Nani. In the chaotic struggle, Erica's gun is knocked away into the dirt. Enraged, Erica wraps her bare hands around Adam's throat, violently strangling him. This gives Nani the precious seconds she needs. Crawling through the mud, she grabs the dropped gun, aims it at the monster who slaughtered her friends, and pulls the trigger. Erica falls dead into the dirt. The nightmare is finally over. A traumatized Nani helps a severely wounded Adam to his feet. Together, they slowly limp down the empty highway, leaving the house of horrors behind them as the screen fades to black dot. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the recaps, pause, like, and subscribe. See you in next recap.